The following is a paid program. The views expressed are not necessarily those of the management or ownership of KSTP-AM 1500 ESPN.
This is the place to talk about everything related to the home. Buying or selling real estate, financing and improvements that can help increase your home's value. This is Minnesota Home Talk on Score North. Here's your host, Jason Walgrave.
Good morning. Welcome to Minnesota Home Talk on ESPN 1500. 1500 ESPN.
There you go.
You got to say the number first. It's like
Yeah.
a house address.
Yeah.
I thought it was ESPN first.
No. 1500 ESPN.
Evan is very he's like the call in, what do you call it? The call numbers, the police. He's like the verbiage police. It's got to be done on the right order.
Verbiage police.
I'm trying to figure out how to describe that, but we always get it wrong because Jason and I always get it wrong, and then he teases us for it, and then we purposely do it wrong because we know that it bothers the crap out of Evan.
It doesn't bother me. I'm just doing my job.
Right?
No, it bothers him. Trust me, it bothers him.
I've been doing this for 10 years. If it bothered me, I'd be long gone.
Right? 1500 ESPN, formerly known as Score North Radio, and then formerly known as before that 1500 ESPN. So we're back.
Yeah.
That's the lineage right there. So when we started on this radio station, God, when was that? 2012?
Oh, no. Further back than that.
Further back? 2010?
I've been here since 2012.
2010? 2010?
Yeah, probably.
Like
2010.
2010.
You've been doing this for 12 years?
Jason and I did our first radio show. We started on a station on WCCO first. April of 2008 was our first show.
Holy moly.
And we've been doing it every Saturday since.
So 14 years.
Yeah. It's been a long time. And so then we came over here, I think around 2010. Evan's been our producer since, what did you say?
It's been 10 years. 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
2012.
Started in June of 2012.
Yep.
Like the actual 10-year mark is probably next weekend.
Next
It
weekend.
was like the last weekend of June was my first
show.
show.
Your anniversary.
That's
Right?
right.
We should have an anniversary show.
Oh, man.
10-year
Cake.
anniversary show.
Cake.
Yeah.
Yep. One chip challenge.
We did that already.
You did that?
Do you know the one chip challenge?
I know it.
I'll tell you what. The one chip challenge is something that's like doable. The problem is it's really not doable when it's 7 in the morning on a Saturday on an empty stomach.
So
Real
he,
bad.
he did it live on the show.
Real bad.
His breakfast was the one chip.
Was the one show.
He didn't have anything beforehand.
Not recommending that.
I wouldn't even do it without the breakfast. Oh.
You could probably go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Man.
Evan excused himself from the show, not necessarily the room, but more just relocated to the floor
I had
for
to
a
sit
hot
on
second.
the floor for a while.
Yep.
Oh, did it hurt? Was it painful?
Yes, it was incredibly painful.
So
Tums, very useful.
One of our clients that Jason and I helped out buy and sell a home, he actually gave the chip to Jason and said, hey, be careful with this thing. And it's got warning labels all over the box, right? It's like you're not even supposed to touch it with your bare hands. You're supposed to like wear like a latex glove pulling the chip out.
You can't even touch the
Well,
chip.
I mean, that's what they say, right? They're probably just, whatever. But they're just trying to get to the point, like, don't mess around with this thing.
serious.
Yeah. And so Evan he's a spice guy. So he can handle spice. He'll go do blazing wings. He'll do that type of stuff. He's like, I should be able to do that. Yeah. So anyway, it's 7 in the morning.
The whole chip or just like a bite?
The whole thing.
Oh.
So just whole thing in, one bite, went down. And it's one of those things where it seemed to just progressively get worse.
Yeah.
As the time went on.
It's like,
was real
this
bad.
is hot, but it's doable. It's hot, but doable. Okay, now it's really hot. Okay, now I'm starting to hurt.
How long was the torture for?
As soon as I took the Tums, I was fine.
Oh, okay.
After the show.
So at least an hour-ish.
Yeah. Yeah. And if I did it again, I would say bring me a breakfast burrito or something
With it,
first. Yeah.
and some milk,
Yeah.
Just anything.
ice cream.
Empty stomach. It was like it wasn't the spiciness. It was
You're
like it was
brave.
hot, but
Right.
it wasn't the hottest thing I've ever eaten. But I've never eaten something that hot on an empty stomach before. Anyway,
Yeah.
if you don't know, this is Minnesota Home Talk, where we talk about spicy chips, also buying and selling real estate in the Twin Cities, all your real estate related questions. It's a call-in show.
It is a call-in show.
You can call us at 651-647-2910. That's 647-2910, or you can text in your question to 763-443-5664. If you're doing that one chip challenge yourself this morning and you don't really want to sit and talk on the phone, texting is probably easier. 763-443-5664. Best question of the morning is going to get 4 St. Paul Saints tickets. And it's our normal gig, except no Jason today.
Yeah. And you can watch us on Facebook Live. So you can go visit us on Minnesota Home Talk on Facebook and watch us live. So we are streaming live there on Facebook, also on YouTube. And anywhere else? Are we streaming anywhere else?
No, those are the 2 main places.
Facebook, YouTube, radio. Taking your calls. So, yeah, we got some tickets to give away. So St. Paul Saints tickets to the best real estate or mortgage question of the morning here. So you can call in with your question or you can text in with your question. Either way is going to give you the chance to win. You can submit a question through Facebook as well. Going through Facebook Live and submitting a question there does not get you in the running for the tickets, but we'll certainly answer your questions live on air if you submit a question through Facebook Live. Phone number again to call in is 651-647-2910, and the text line is 763-443-5664. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about is there a slowdown in the real estate market? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's happening with interest rates. And inflation and how all that it plays into part with each other. We're going to cover some hot listings. And then we also have 4
popular kitchen designs.
4 popular kitchen designs.
For 2022.
For 2022. Again, phone lines are open for those St. Paul Saints tickets, 651-647-2910. And the text line is 763-443-5664. Let's go into some hot listings.
Sweet.
Oh, man. We got some hot listings
We
today.
do. We got a lot of
Right.
hot listings today.
Okay, our first one is at 2209 Manuela Drive in Chaska, and it's listed at $600,000. Has 4-bed, 3 baths. It is a rambler, so everything's on one floor, easy, accessible, beautiful home from the inside.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is nice. A 4-bedroom, 3-bath, like almost 3,800 square feet on this one. Located
it's
right
not
in Chaska.
small.
Yeah. Got the space. Got a nice kitchen. Yeah, this is a good looking property here.
And in Chaska, which is pretty popular.
Absolutely.
All right, the next one is at 504 5th Street in Farmington, listed at $295, 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,519 square foot, so 1,519 square feet. It is in a 55-plus community, so not everyone can get in, right? But definitely a good-looking property as well.
And it looks like single-level living there, too, in this one.
Single level living. Looks like a townhome.
Right.
It's real nice, real comfy.
Built
that
in
one's-
2003, so
And that one's
Pretty.
located in Farmington, 504 5th Street in Farmington.
Yep. Listed for $295.
next one is
A lot in Newport.
okay.
1864 Hastings Avenue.
And I believe this lot is zoned for up to 4 units. So if you are looking to
nice.
build perhaps an investment property, you can go all the way up to a 4 unit. So you could do a quad on there if you wanted to, or you could do a single family on it.
Yep.
Located right in the heart of Hastings here, just over a 1/4 acre, it looks like.
Yes.
And this one is
It's listed at $44,500, so really good price.
nice. It's a good price too, absolutely.
Right. Next one is in Oakdale. At 1246. Is it Gresham Avenue?
I think it's Gresham. We were talking about
gonna
this
say-
last week too. How do you pronounce that? My vote is Gresham.
Okay, that's
So-
how I read it.
Okay, perfect. We're on the same
but
page then.
I don't know.
Gresham.
Is it
Gresham.
Gresham? But it's only one E.
No, it's Gresham.
Okay.
It's like your grandma saying catsup.
I
Does your,
love
does your
catsup.
grandma call it ketchup catsup? Is this Gresham?
Gresham.
Or is it Gresham or is it Gresham?
I think Gresham. Let's go with
I like
Gresham.
Gresham.
Yeah. 1246 Gresham Avenue in Oakdale. $280,000 for this one. 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,542 square feet.
It looks like it's got a nice big detached garage too.
Yeah. Looks pretty similar to my house aside from the interior. Interior is very retro.
Eclectic,
Ooh, retro.
retro,
No, definitely retro. You got some
original. I mean, look at that. Look at that flooring.
I can't tell if I would call that a blue or a green carpet, but it's in that space between the two. And it's actually super rad.
I mean,
But I feel like it's balancing off the walls.
Yeah, it's
You know, is
Hard
it
to tell.
green or is it not green?
if you're looking for a house with some very unique original flooring, this is the one for you. This actually reminds me of the house that I grew up in back in Laverne. 1970s. We had red. We had this red type of carpet in there, and then we'd also had a green carpet that looked very similar to that in that house. Very
Nice.
original.
property's
Nice
got a great backyard.
great
Oh, yeah, this is
backyard,
the
great
one-
patio.
I remember this now. Yeah, not only does it have a good sized garage, but the garage also has like a sunroom in it.
Yeah.
So the garage is a lounge space. It has a great back patio, finished basement. A lot of potential in this property.
A lot of potential. It would take minimal. I mean, you put some new flooring and some new paint in that thing. Equity builder right there for sure.
Yep. So one more time, that was 1246 Gresham Avenue in Oakdale for $280,000. What's our next one?
Our next one is at 5388 Fairlawn Shores Trail in Prior Lake. Not a small home. Beautiful, huge home, 5-bedroom, 4 baths, almost 4,000 square feet. Listed at 2.5, but I mean, it's
This thing is
absolutely
amazing.
gorgeous.
And I believe the basement is unfinished on this one, so you can actually get more finished square footage if you want to finish off the basement. Top end luxury home right on Prior Lake. I mean, this thing has it all. Even the main level there has like the barnwood beams going across.
Oh, I love
mean,
that.
all the detail that you get in is the ceiling, even on that 4-season porch or 3-season porch that's coming off the back right on top of the deck. It's got like an outdoor kitchen area. I mean, this place is amazing. If you look at the pictures of it, you'll see
Yeah.
exactly what we're talking about. Amazing backyard, great landscaping. I mean, this kind of has it all.
Yeah, the master
Yeah.
bathroom suite on this house is also like,
There's
I
like,
could live in there.
I mean, this is like this is like magazine type of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Right?
And like, why would you want to leave? Where are you going?
Why would you?
You know, because you're on the lake too. Where are you going?
That's, I mean, you get the best of both worlds. You got an amazing house. You got a sweet backyard with landscaping, and then you're right on the lake too. Exactly. There's nothing else needed.
Yeah, it's literally.
So located right on Prior Lake here. This one listed for $2.5 million, and it's at 5388 Fairlawn Shores Trail Southeast.
Man, that
Right in Prior
setback,
Lake.
it is so close to the lake.
It is.
That's wild.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
If anyone wants
Definitely.
to buy it and invite me over, hey yo.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You want to go take a look at this thing? Jessica will set up a showing for you.
Oh, yeah.
Any day.
Maybe set up like an 8-hour showing, hang out, kind of get live in it a little bit, get the
Right.
feel for it.
Have
You
a
like
snack.
to do a showing
Yeah.
where you have like a big party at the house?
Yeah.
A trial run, big barbecue?
Yep.
Well,
What
how
would
are
it be
you
like
gonna
if
know
this
if
was my
it's
house?
gonna work if you don't try it?
Right, exactly. You
You
gotta
know?
have like a couple hundred of my closest friends over.
A couple hundred. You know, nothing
put that,
big, not a
put
big
that
deal.
request into the listing agent.
Yeah, you know, we're not talking about like 1,000 people or anything.
Just a couple hundred.
It's low key.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, are the keys in the pontoon?
So one more time, that's 5388 Fairlawn Shores Trail Southeast in Prior Lake, listed for, what was it, 2.5?
2.5.
2.5 mil. Great house. Mm-hmm. What's our next one?
Next one is.
It's Docks Harbor.
Oh, nice.
Right.
We love Docks Harbor.
So it's at 39629 State Highway 18 in Aiken, Minnesota. It's listed at $2 million, but I mean it's an amazing investment. Also on the water, of course. You know.
Yep. So this is a resort right on the north shore of Mille Lacs, so Lake Mille Lacs there. Evan, what's it got? 26 RV spots?
I think it's got 32.
32
32 RV spots.
32 RV spots, quite a few boat slips,
Slips.
room for expansion as well.
It's got 4 total buildings right now. I believe they don't have any. They're not open in the winter, so you also can open up the ice fishing deal too, and add that to the mix at Docks Harbor there. But it is a turnkey investment here, right on Lake Mille Lacs. So check it out if you're interested in never owning a resort. Now's your chance on one of the most popular fishing lakes in Minnesota.
And it's 4 acres. It's a lot of land.
Mm-hmm. Again, Docks Harbor there on the north shore of Mille Lacs listed for $1.999 million.
999. Okay, the next one is at 103 Main Street, north in Aurora, Minnesota, and it's a commercial building.
I believe this one's the building and the business is for sale.
You get the building and the business.
Oh, and the business?
And the
Yep.
business that's in it.
Oh,
I can't remember
so
what's
a twofer.
Yeah, it is a twofer.
It is the Hive Coffee and Bakehouse in
Ooh.
Aurora, Minnesota. Jason spoke very, very highly of it.
He went up there and he
Oh,
went
he
up
went
there.
up there?
Yeah, he went up there and checked it out, and then had lunch up there and stuff. And he's like, it's a super cool atmosphere, and the food was amazing, and you get everything that comes with it. So it's the building, it's all the equipment, everything inside. So the building and the business come together there, listed at $600,000.
Yep, 600,000.
So really good deal, especially if you get the business too.
Absolutely.
So if you want to live in Aurora, Minnesota, 103 Main Street North. So what's next?
Let's get some lots there in Sims Court. So we
Prior
have
Lake.
yep.
All right, so it's 16094 Sims Court in Prior Lake. It is 0.31, so a little bit more over a quarter of an acre. And it's residential, right?
Yep, this is residential. So this is a 9-lot development right across the street. So south of Hidden Oaks and Twin Oaks Middle Schools in Prior Lake there. I believe there's a couple lots that are open. Very private. So each lot backs up to a preserve, so there will not be anyone else building behind you. And so when you look at those lots there on the picture, you have woods and preserve as your backyard. And you're not going to have anyone else back there. So, and you're right next to the middle schools, which is nice. So, once you have kids that are the middle-aged school, they can literally walk across the street to school. So, couldn't be more convenient there.
Right.
All the houses going in here are super nice.
Really?
Yeah. Pebble Creek Custom Home.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nice. You know what I mean? So you're top of the line there. So you can check that out. I believe there's 2 lots left in this development. Highly sought after development because of the location and because of the nature preserve that's in the backyard of every single one.
Yep. And I think those lots are, I think you're right. 2 lots left. The one that we've got here, $165,000 for the lot. Yeah.
That's
Beautiful.
cool.
Check it out if you're interested in building in Prior Lake, brand new construction Prior Lake. Check that one out. The location is great.
And if you want to buy one that's already built for you in Prior Lake, 20755 Assen Drive in Prior Lake's for sale for $899,000. That's a 4-bed, 4-bath, 4,000 square feet. Lots of 4s.
Yep. And this one is on
It has about.
Fish Lake.
Is that what it is?
I think it's on Fish Lake.
But
Yep, you got it.
Right,
Access
Fish Lake.
on Fish Lake.
Yep. So 2.5 acres on Fish Lake,
Wow.
4-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,000 square foot home. So you have the acreage, you have the lake, and you're just south of Prior Lake itself on the south end there. So it's conveniently located too. So you're far enough out where it feels like you're out, but you're also a 5-minute drive from downtown
whatever you
Prior Lake.
need,
Exactly.
yeah.
So it's a great location here. I've actually been in this house. I've been in this house before.
Did you have a party?
It's a great lot. I didn't get to have a party in it, unfortunately. I think Jason has this one listed, so maybe if we can talk him into it, maybe we can do the whole.
Maybe we should be like, hey, you should go on vacation, right?
Yeah.
No
and we'll
big
do
deal.
we'll hold an open house for you.
Uh-huh.
It's
It'll-
a 5-day open house. The 5-day Ranger open house.
The weekend. We'll just live there through the weekend.
Right. Invite people over, be like, look at my new house.
Yep. So this one again listed at $899. And this one, again, is located at?
It is located at 20755 Addison Drive in Prior Lake.
Perfect.
So it looks beautiful. I mean, so if you're ready to party, I'm ready.
Yep. Jessica will get a 8-hour showing set up for you so you can do the live-in feel
no
there.
big deal.
Next one, 14620 Woodhill Circle in Minnetonka, Minnesota. Listed at $599. Very unique house here. So this one is a 2-acre lot, I believe. Where else are you going to find 2 acres right in the middle of Minnetonka? Probably not. This is probably the only one there. So it's and the home is very unique too. Tons of windows, tons of glass, very open and bright. 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,000, just over 3,000 finished square feet on here.
This house is an example of a retro house that might actually not need renovation.
Right.
Aside from maybe one of the bathrooms. Or you could redevelop the property because it is a gigantic lot. But as it stands right now, the house is like all glass on 3 sides, and you can't see your neighbors.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's great.
It's super cool.
The absolute most natural light you could ever ask for.
Yeah. So one more time, that's 14620 Woodhill Circle in Minnetonka, listed for $599,000.
All right. The next one is in Afton, Minnesota at 15616 Upper 34th Street South. It's a 3-bed, 3-bath, listed at $750,000, so $750,000, but it's about almost 3,000 square feet. Also really unique property.
So So this one is on the bluffs of St. Croix. I believe that they are not allowing any more building on the St. Croix in this area due to new setback requirements.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week.
So I think there's only 3 houses basically in this area of the St. Croix, and that's going to be the only 3 houses
Ever.
built there unless they change the setback requirements or something like that in the future. So you have the ultimate in privacy here, and it overlooks the St. Croix River. You have tons of trees leading down into the river there. So the views are amazing. And if you're a hang glider, you can hang glide right off your roof, right down to the St. Croix from here. Or you can install maybe a zip line.
Oh,
We're gonna
that
be real.
would be so cool.
This house is kind of the ultimate hybrid between luxury living and like the cabin getaway.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
bottom level has a very, very like a built out full bar. It's got, like classic wood paneling vibes. Great wood stove. I say that, but also as an insurance agent, I look at it and I go, it's got a wood stove, which means it's going to cost you more on your insurance, but that's okay because this house is awesome.
It's definitely worth it. It's sweet.
And it has some really cool gold touches that kind of like make everything look really timeless and classic.
Yeah. And it's got this amazing, I don't know if you would call that like a solar room or an atrium or whatever, but on the river side of the house, it's got an entire glass floor to ceiling wall for 2 stories. It's got a balcony that's fully encased in that, so you can like look at the river from the interior of your home, but feel like you're outside. It's got a spiral staircase. So one more time, that's 15616 Upper 34th Street South in Afton for $750,000.
Sweet property for sure.
All right, Greens Point Road, our old friend of Red Wing, 27858 Greens Point Road. This property we've been talking about for a while is just one of the coolest, most unique lakefront properties in all of Minnesota.
I think it's I describe it as a Mexican beach in Minnesota. You
Yeah.
got 400
Ooh.
feet of shoreline, and it's all sand, going 30 to 40 feet back from the water.
Yeah.
I've never seen a beach that big in Minnesota.
You're on your own point. You're just sitting there on Lake Pepin, and you've got clear, uncontested views of the water.
Yeah.
This property is ripe for redevelopment. House that's on it is a very, very unique structure, to put it in a very Minnesotan way. I think it's super cool, but I think someone buying this property is going to want something bigger. But great house, great location down in Red Wing, Minnesota. And that is listed for how much? 1.5.
1.5. Oh, it's a really cool property, though. The next one is new construction home, right?
This is a Pebble Creek custom for sure.
Okay. At Sumter Avenue South in Savage, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,400 square feet. Listed at $995. But I mean, absolutely brand new and gorgeous.
This is my favorite floor plan of Pebble Creek. I've been inside a couple of these that they have built. This is my favorite floor plan out of any of the floor plans that they have built. It was the very first one where they actually put the staircase going downstairs behind the fireplace. So on the main level there, looking at the fireplace, and the staircase goes behind it downstairs. And it's like hidden because you don't, when you look at it, this picture here, you would have no idea that there's a staircase going down to the bottom level behind there. So it's one of those cool features. It's like, someone would walk in there and be like, how do I get to the basement? You'd probably have to point it out. So it's kind of hidden there. So that's what's unique about it. It looks super cool. The finishings are top notch, and that's just everything you would expect in a Pebble Creek custom home because that's what they are. So it's an amazing house. Definitely want to check this one out. You will definitely be impressed on how it looks and how it feels inside. List price on that one is $995.
Yes.
Yep.
And this one's located at 146XX Sumter Avenue in Savage, Minnesota.
Gorgeous home.
And the last hot listing of the morning.
You say the last.
Yeah.
They just keep coming.
We'll do the last. So
all
this, So Hudson, over in Hudson, Wisconsin.
Yeah, this is a new one. I have not seen this one before. 77 Tribute Avenue in Hudson, Wisconsin. It is a 4-bed, 4-bath,
Nice.
2,800 square feet, listed for $475,000. This is a kind of an adorable house. I really like the front treatments here, but
I do too. Curb appeal is
two-story.
great.
Yes.
Hudson, 2-car garage. Yeah, it just looks like turnkey living in Hudson. Everything looks freshly redone.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those homes, like in the movies, where it just looks like perfect from
Yeah,
the
exactly.
outside.
The idyllic neighborhood thing.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yep, basements.
Oh, dang. Look at that ceiling
Yeah, what?
It's got a tin ceiling treatment, it looks like.
in the basement.
Yeah,
That
the
basement
finished
is cool.
It's a
Yeah.
walkout.
That flooring is cool.
And it
Yeah.
goes nice with that ceiling.
Yeah,
'Cause
that
it kind
bi-
of reflects off of it.
It does.
This one's got a pretty big deck, too. So, yeah, 77 Tribute Avenue in Hudson, Wisconsin, listed for $475,000.
freshly finished lower level basement, and that is killer. That flooring and that ceiling treatment was pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
You can check out all these listings and a few more that we didn't have time to cover on our webpage, MinnesotaHometalk.com. That's MinnesotaHometalk.com. Or, if you have any questions about any of these, feel free to give us a call.
Absolutely. At
651-647-2910.
you can also text questions in this morning to get a chance to win those St. Paul Saints tickets. We're giving away 4 St. Paul Saints tickets to the best question of the morning. That text line is 763-443-5664. Or you can call in with your questions as well to 651-647-2910. We got a lot to talk about on the show yet here. We're going to talk about, do we feel a little slowdown in the market? We're going to talk about interest rates, what's happening with those. And then we also have the 4 home kitchen designs that are popular here for 2022. Again, phone lines are open for your questions, 651-647-2910. And the text line is open at 763-443-5664.
You got it.
Is that right? I was waiting for it to scroll on the bottom because I was reading it. So
I was going to say, how do you know that one? There's so many numbers.
we had the same phone number. So when we started, we had the same phone number for however many years, almost 10 years here. And then when you switched to the studio, the number changed. And it messed Jason and I up. We're not good
and
with
changed
numbers.
everything. Yeah,
numbers
right?
are hard.
These guys.
Right? So
Yeah.
that's why Evan's like, well, I'm going to do these guys a favor. Let's just scroll the numbers down there. Hopefully they can read
Hopefully.
while they're on air. Multitasking. But let's talk about the market, Jessica. So you're on one of the biggest teams, actually the biggest real estate team in Minnesota. Actually, I think it's the biggest team in the country. As far
Biggest
as
team in the world?
Dun, dun,
We
dun.
just
Is it
escalated
the
each
world?
step. So
in the solar system,
The universe.
universe, yeah.
in the universe,
Multiverse?
the
See,
multiverse.
there's more. There's always more.
There is no other reality in which there is a larger real estate team.
Right. So so obviously a lot of activity with you
Yes.
and the team. What are you guys feeling out there? Do you feel a slowdown? And when I say a slowdown, are you seeing maybe less showings on homes in general? Are you seeing homes sit on the market longer? Give us your 2 cents on that.
I definitely think the homes are sitting on the market longer, and it also depends on location, right?
Yep.
Say location. But there is I think it's slowing down. I feel with a little bit more inventory coming on, it's definitely helping me out. Getting my buyers some good homes, but definitely I'm not seeing, the same competition. And it does seem like they're lasting maybe double the time it was, and maybe don't quote me on that, right?
Yeah, which it's still fast moving because
Oh, yeah.
because you remember double the time would be, if you were listing a home in
48 hours instead of 24. Right.
right. So it was so crazy there, especially this spring. Basically for the last 12 months, let's say, of listing a house, and like you said, I mean, if it lasted 24 hours, and if it was in that bread and butter price point, 500-ish or less. I mean,
And then also depending on the location, there's just some areas where still right now it's like maybe you have 48 hours, maybe you don't.
right? Yeah. But it was so crazy there, and we are seeing just a little bit slower activity, is at least what I'm seeing on our end. Now, if you're still in the bread and butter price point, where you're looking at, $450 and less, still
Still
really
pretty
active.
competitive, right?
Still
And-
competitive. You're going to get multiple offers, obviously, as long as you're not overpriced on your listing, and as long as you don't have
Right.
something crazy, right? A train running through the backyard or something like that. You're going to get a lot of activity. It's going to go pretty quick.
Right. So, I mean, I feel like it's slowing down a bit, and it helps me out, like
Right.
I said before, but it also helps, everyone else out. It's not like the house isn't going to sell right at this point, but it just maybe will give you a little bit more chance to have more people in there.
Yeah. It's more of a balancing out type of market, because
Yeah.
the sellers for a while there was just, they held all the cards, right? So they held all the cards there. Now I'm seeing on my end kind of a resurgence of FHA offers getting accepted. So I've had 6 FHA offers get accepted over the last 2.5 weeks.
Nice.
Previous to those 2.5 weeks, I don't think I had a one FHA offer all year accepted.
Really?
And then all of a sudden, in the last 2.5 weeks, now we got 6 FHA offers accepted. I actually had a VA deal get accepted yesterday where the seller was actually paying some closing costs. And that was
that's
something
awesome.
that is kind of, I don't know, one deal, if I can say it's coming back, but it's the first time a seller has paid the buyer's closing costs or a portion of the buyer's closing costs for months.
And that's kind of what I was going to say. 6 months ago, I would have never really advised that if we really wanted the house, right? But these last 2 deals I've had, the seller has paid the closing costs as well. And, I use it as kind of like a pat in my back, like,
Right, yeah.
I'm going all the way here for you, which I am. But 6 months ago, I don't think I could have even advised that to really get the house, right?
Right, because you have 30. If you have 30 offers going on a house, the sellers are going to start looking at all that. Are any of them asked for closing costs? You're probably going to set those aside. Or
And
any
not
asking
not
for
even look at them.
right?
Yeah.
Are any asking for a home inspection? Those got set to the side. So that's the other thing too, is home inspections. I mean, what are you seeing there? Are the offers you're making for your buyers? Are they asking for home inspections, and are you getting those accepted?
Now they are. And, I always try to advise to get a home inspection. I could never tell them how the roof is going to act later on. That's not my point of expertise, but I have seen it, but I've also had a couple where they're like, I really want this. We're just going to waive that
Yeah.
still. So it's still happening, and I think it always will in some extent, but I do see a little bit more inspections now.
Yep. I would say it was very common for the first 5 months of this year. where maybe 10% of the offers had home inspections.
And I lost quite a few offers because we had home
inspections. Yeah.
And, you know,
So now I'm seeing on my end, from what I'm seeing, probably I'd say 50 to 60% of the offers now are getting home inspections done.
okay.
So it's the shift to like normalizing.
That's what I've been hearing. So this is what it was, or it's going in the direction that this is how the market is supposed to be. Yeah.
Right.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. I mean, even rates, you look at the rate side too of things, you know, when rates were 3.25% in January and they're 6.25% now, right? Everyone's like, they're so high, right?
Oh.
Rates are so high. Well, go back to 2001, they were 8.5%.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, normal is not
Go back to 2019, and they were hovering in the mid fives.
November of 2018, they were 5.125.
Yeah.
That was the last time we actually hit the fives, was November of 18, which is not that long ago. Right?
3.5 years.
Right. So the tough part is for buyers now is if you compare anything to 2020 and 2021, it's never going to be like that again. We got to kind of throw those couple years out.
Oh, never say never, Mike.
Well, maybe not in our lifetime.
Well, what a
or
positive
by the-
patty over there.
I just, you know, it seems like, you know, the housing market, like any market, is cyclical.
Yeah.
We will see other disruptions in the world that lead to good deals in real estate or lower interest rates or higher interest rates and things like that. Where we're at now, things are changing from where they've been, but that's always true.
Right.
It's very rare for us to just be like, yep, it's exactly the same as it's always been. But, you know, things aren't so different now, I think is the point that we're driving at. Yes, rates have gone up in the last year quite a bit.
Yep.
But how much have they actually raised in relation to average rates over the last 10 years? Not really that much.
They're normal.
They're back
to normal.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
So and our real estate market is going to shift to back to normal too, where buyers and sellers have about an equal strength in the deal, if you will, and maybe you can actually negotiate a little bit.
Right. And
you know-
that's nice.
on that note,
Right? Yeah.
Janelle had a question for us. She was asking about rates and also how are construction costs when it comes to new construction? Staying pretty steady. You know, have you seen movement on prices there?
So construction costs, you know, base materials, lumber has actually come down a little bit from what I heard. But it seems like as soon as one type of material, one facet of the new construction goes down, you have a plug or a jam in another one, right? So there was HVAC was a big deal there for a while. Like you couldn't get any HVAC materials. I think that's loosened up a little bit. Lumber has come down a little bit. But in general, though, as you look at new construction, are you going to see new construction prices come down? Probably not. I don't see them coming down. I can see them leveling off for a while. But there's so many moving parts with new construction because you have obviously the materials, but you also have then all the labor that comes with it too.
I was going to say, what about the labor due to, you know, kind of the shortage of that?
Right.
So I'm sure that would drive the cost up too because you don't have enough people to do it.
Right. So I think what's going to happen here, I mean, the pace where homes were appreciating, new construction costs were going up, things like that, obviously that pace just can't hold. And we're going to see a market whenever a market corrects, or however the term you want to use, whenever that happens, then you're going to see all those different levels come into play. So hopefully more people get back into the trades and we have more people working, which is going to drive labor costs down a little bit. And then hopefully we see the actual material costs go down as well as basically we come out of COVID and we ramp production back up in those different areas. So, but as of right now, I see a little bit of pullback on lumber costs. But I guess for the rest of the year, I don't see new construction prices changing a whole lot. I think they're going to stay pretty close to where they're at now.
Do you think the market's going to correct sooner than later or later than sooner?
What's your definition of correct?
I guess become more balanced. where exactly like you were saying, I guess buyers and sellers can negotiate more, kind of go back to, hey, we look at a few houses, now we look for months and months because we can't get an offer accepted and things like that.
Yeah. It'll definitely go that way. And again, we swung so far to this house isn't going to last more than 24 hours. You're going to have to go 30 or 40 grand over list price. You're not going to be able to do a home inspection. You're not going to ask the seller for closing costs. Like
Appraisal gaps, all that craziness.
So far, right? So we went to the extreme. Now we're swinging back. So yeah, absolutely, because that can't sustain, right? So that would never sustain for a long period of time. And now we're seeing that shift back. Hence why we see some FHA offers getting accepted, some VA offers getting accepted, the seller paying some closing costs for some buyers. So we're seeing all that. So it's the start of that normalizing process is what we're seeing now, which, to be honest with you, needed to happen.
Yes, I agree.
It definitely needed to happen here. And as a buyer, we were talking the other day, we're talking about the other day of buyers of in every single market, there's a way to win in every single market, right? So investors are going to tell you in every down market, there is a way to quote unquote win. So we were talking about that the other day, and this is what I see the two ways to win in this market. Number one, that price point of 600 and up, right? There's a lot less activity in that price bracket right now. So if you're a buyer looking to get up into that price bracket, now's a good time to get into there, because I think you're going to see more price reduction in that bracket, because as interest rates slide up, less and less people qualify for that upper bracket.
And then those homes will stay on longer.
That was a follow-up question I had on interest rates. I know it was like 2 weeks ago we were talking about how jumbo rates were lagging behind the increase pretty significantly. Is that still true? Are jumbo rates still lower?
So I literally priced one out on a conventional and a jumbo for the same buyer the other day. And the jumbo was at 5.25 on a 30-year fix with no points, and the conventional was at 6.125 with no points.
If you're looking right in that ballpark, it might make more sense to borrow a little bit more money rather than less.
I have people putting less down so their loan amount is in the jumbo category, because then they can get the lower rates on the jumbo.
Oh, hey, that's smart. And then it's like more house for less interest.
Yeah, we ran those numbers a couple weeks ago where it was the cost difference between a $650,000 house and a $750,000 house. Because on the 650, you're in conventional rates, right? Which are higher right now than jumbos. Guess how much the monthly cost difference was from a 650 house to a 750 house, both with 15% down.
Really?
Guess how much the monthly difference was on $100,000.
Couple $100 maybe?
It was $113.
$113.
That's it, because the interest rates on that jumbo scenario is almost a full point less.
Right.
So you gain it, you make it up there, and so literally you can go up $100,000 in purchase price. It was only $113 a month. I mean that's completely
worth it.
It's a completely different house, you know.
Exactly, or maybe a different neighborhood. What are you trying to do? And man, that's really good.
So do
people know this? Have you told people?
We were talking about it. I think that's a way to win in this market is take a look at that, because of where interest rates are at for the different loan products. And if you're up in that level, you're going to have less competition, and you're going to have lower interest rates than standard conventional loans out there.
Janelle sent us a follow-up too. She is also a realtor on the Minnesota real estate team. She says, I have a listing in Belle Plaine that has been slower. We did a $10,000 price reduction, still comparable to recent solds, and nothing. But price point is over $350,000. Another listing I have in Montgomery under $300,000 went live on Thursday and has had 5 showings. Jessica, are you seeing a shift in the market when it comes to certain price points?
Yes, I think so. I think because the rates went up, I've been getting a lot of, well, I think we're going to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're going to wait till next year. I had someone and I literally was like, you can, obviously. I can't force anyone to do anything. But I told her what's going to be the difference then. And if they go up, you just wasted a whole year of rent to do it anyways.
Right. So we're talking about, the waiting game, right? So we're going to get a lot of that. We're going to wait to see what happens here type of deal. It's one of those things where I honestly think just because this is supply and demand, I don't think home prices are going to come down that much.
Right.
If they come down a little bit, they might come down, but I don't think it's going to be too crazy just because our supply is so low compared to the demand that's out there.
Right.
I mean, ultimately speaking, we were talking before about the upward pressure. The American currency in the last 60 years has only deflated rather than inflated twice, and it was only by like 0.01% type thing, and they were both gigantic recession type events. Generally speaking, your money is worth less every year because that's just how economics works.
Right.
So ultimately speaking, the idea that you're going to wait it out and things will get cheaper, can that happen in certain marketplaces and so on, depending on the rate environment and et cetera? Sure. Are you going to be able to properly time the market and really get yourself a good deal? I haven't seen it. We've been through this. You guys have been through this multiple times where there's waves of hot markets and cold markets and good deals and bad deals and so on.
Yep.
And the idea of like projecting out a year and being like, I'm going to time this. I'm going to get that perfect house, and I'm going to show everyone how smart I am. It's very rare that it actually works out, and most of the time it's just pure happenstance.
Yeah. If you time it out perfectly, it's not because you chose to time it out perfectly. It's just because that's how the universe decided it was going to happen.
Right.
I'm buying that house in January of 2023.
Right.
I've got it all planned out.
Yep.
I'm seeing all the numbers. That's not generally how it works. But, that being said, I'm not saying you got to buy it right now and you're wrong if you think you have to wait. Everyone's choice, there's a lot of factors that goes into it. We can illustrate the cost of renting versus buying using whatever numbers you'd like as far as financial cost. Obviously, there's other things associated with it when it comes to your personal home too.
Right.
Do you want to move in the middle of the school year? A lot of people don't.
Right.
This is the time of year to move. You may have missed the boat. As far as like, are we moving this year? If you're buying a house right now, it's like you need to get that offer accepted right now because
it's close.
summer's going to be over real soon.
Unfortunately,
It's
Right.
like only just officially began, but
it started late and it's probably going to end early this year. That's just the way this year seems to go.
No.
The ice came off the lake a full month later this year than last year.
Right. And I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
we had a real narrow spring this year.
The
Where it
real
was
narrow.
like cold, kind of warm, hot. So yeah, I mean, ultimately speaking, I'm not poo-pooing anyone who thinks that way. I'm just saying the idea that someone's going to be able to lay out that master plan and really nail it, I think it's more luck than skill.
Yeah.
I mean, even
Yeah.
us as industry professionals,
Yeah.
ultimately speaking, yeah, we have our finger on the pulse of these things, but what the market's actually going to be like 18 months from now,
Yep.
we'll see.
Right. I mean, I completely agree. I think when the right opportunity comes up, you got to jump on it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the right house, the right location, all that stuff, when it checks all the boxes, you got to make a move on it because most of the time you don't get all your boxes checked. So
Right.
even though where rates are at now, here's the old adage is it's your forever home, not your forever loan. You find the right house now, it checks all the boxes, make a move on it, get in there, right?
Right.
You're going to be locking in, depending on credit score, down payment, all those other factors, around 6% on a 30-year fixed. More than likely, and I'd like to get your guys' opinion on this too.
Right.
A recession's inevitable at this point. It's coming. And typically what happens with the recession, interest rates go down. The president of Luminate and myself were talking on Wednesday this week. We both believe sometime in the next 12 to 24 months, we see rates back down in the fours for a 30-year fixed.
I think
Really?
that's probably true. Ultimately speaking, everyone gets scared of the word recession. But most of the time when we go through a recession, it's not actually that hugely disruptive.
Right?
It's just the last couple have been hugely disruptive.
Yeah.
Now that said, the question when buying a house is not, is it the best deal or whatever. The question is this affordable? Is this the place I want to live? And if you think that instability is on the horizon or whatever, do you think your job is going to be affected? Are you in a field that's very susceptible to the whims of the broader economic profile of the country or no? I mean, like me, I'm in insurance. Insurance is the one great thing I can say about it is it's completely recession proof because
Yes.
everybody just always needs to have insurance.
Right.
Ultimately speaking, like, if the housing market is doing really, really poorly, you and Jason have a harder time Me, I'm like, everybody living in a house still needs insurance.
Right.
That's a great thing for me. Not everyone's in that position.
True.
So if you're thinking, man, if demand dies down, I don't know if I'll be able to make a house payment. And I don't want to commit to that and stuff. That's fine. Totally get it.
Absolutely.
And if you're in an industry like mine where you're just like, it's been smooth sailing. I worked through 2008, that whole thing. I saw all my friends get laid off, and it was no big deal. We just kept working the same way because, whatever field you're in.
Yeah.
You know your business better than we do.
Right.
So the question is, does that big scary word recession really matter in your situation? Because if you think you're still going to be, like there's no problem, your business is, is going to weather any sort of financial hurdles, then you can buy now at that 6% and refinance when rates come down to mid 4s or whatever.
Yep.
And it's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got a question for us, we talked on that one for a while.
We did.
But if you've got a question for us, 651-647-2910 to give us a call. One more time, that's 651-647-2910 to call in. Or you can text us your question at 763-443-5664. One more time, that's 763-443-5664 to text in your real estate related questions. And we did have a text question from frequent texter Andy. Does landscaping mulch add value to home price in comparison to landscaping rock or vice versa?
Jessica, what's your thoughts?
So rock versus what was it?
Versus mulch.
Rock versus mulch. Death battle. Let's go.
2 landscaping materials enter. 1 leaves.
Burr, 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 burr. Like the DJ?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that mulch represents paper in this scenario, but that means we need something that represents scissors. What is the scissors version
In
of
landscaping materials? It's great.
Wrought iron fencing?
Something like that.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Something like that.
See, I think I'm a little biased. I think rock looks really nice. Better. But that's just a personal opinion, so I'm not really sure.
I'm not so sure if you're going to see much difference between mulch and landscape and rock, to be honest with you.
I think, and again, this is outsider perspective. My question is, does the landscaping look fresh or does it look tired?
Ooh,
I don't think that,
like that.
what it actually is matters that much, unless the yard, we had the landscaping done 15 years ago and we haven't taken care of it. That's going to affect your value,
It's got
regardless
the original
of the
mulch
material.
from 15 years ago.
Right, exactly. You've got it's
basically dirt at this point.
right.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see a big difference regardless of if you choose rock or mulch or some other type of treatment. Ultimately, the outside is it in good shape? Is it a nice space to be, or is it a space that needs work? And that's what's going to affect it, right?
And clean and organized and just having that aesthetic from, you're right. I think it doesn't really matter what it is.
Yeah.
As long as it looks nice, has all the curb appeal.
Yep. I mean, a fresh layer of mulch looks great. If you're listing your house for showings, it's something that's quick. It's probably easy to do.
It's probably cheaper.
You can do it yourself. That's fine. Rock's one of those things where, when it's wet, it looks good. Looks
it beats
better.
scissors. That's what's important.
Yeah. Yeah. It beats
Rock is
metal.
the best.
It beats tin landscaping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing I will point out here, and this is my inside baseball from a friend of mine who was recently searching for a house, and she said the mark of a recently flipped home was the bottom bin red mulch. The stuff that's pressure treated, like pine type mulch or whatever.
Yep.
If you're looking to refresh your house, maybe don't go for the exact same cheapo thing just because you're looking, obviously you're setting it up to sell and everything, but you also want to stand out from the crowd and not make it look like, oh, we just did this for the listing.
Right.
Yep.
And that was one thing that she noticed where it was like every one of these houses has that exact same red mulch in all these places. And it's not like a stylistic thing. It's like it's the same tile in the backsplash that they just redid, and it's the same red mulch house after house after house. And I'm
Gotcha.
like,
Maybe that's their signature,
Yeah.
Like,
it's possible.
Is that how it's labeled in the stores? Flippers backsplash.
Flipper special.
Yeah. So we're talking about ways to win. So I think there's two ways to win in this market. We got a few minutes left of the show. So I was talking about the upper bracket homes,
Yep.
right?
Right.
650 on up, because the interest rates on those jumbo loans are lower, and that chunk of the market has slowed down more than anything else. Just because as rates go up, a lot and lots less people qualify for that.
Right.
The other way to win in this market, if you're an FHA or VA buyer in the last 2 years, pretty frustrating for you. Made a lot of offers. You got a lot of offers denied, not accepted. Hopefully you got in and you're in your house already. If not, I can tell you right now that an FHA or VA buyer is a completely different experience now
Right.
versus even a couple months ago in this spring and comparing to the last 2 years.
And even just with a little bit more inventory, because, with an FHA loan and stuff, you can't just look at every house.
Yeah,
And I've noticed there's at least a little bit more options.
there are. Absolutely. So
So-
we've had inventory go up and stuff too. So I think that's the second way to win in this type of market. So for those that were in the market doing an FHA loan or VA loan, if you didn't get into a house, it was kind of discouraging for you. We completely get it. But it's going to be different for you now.
And you can call me.
You
And I
call
can help
Jessica
you.
and she can help you. Absolutely. Yeah. So rate wise, what's going to happen with rates? Obviously, I get that question a lot. I do think it's going to get a little worse before it gets better. So, and that's just me being realistic there. Right. So looking at inflation, looking at what the Fed does, looking at global inflation, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. Could we hit 7% on a 30-year fixed? In my head, 6.75 was where they're going to hit before they leveled off.
Okay.
It's right next to 7. Could hit 7. We'll
But
see what happens
it's
here.
real close.
Right now, we're in the low 6s. But like I said, it's your forever home, not your forever loan when rates go back down because of the recession, which I'm pretty much sold that that's going to happen. Everyone will just refinance back to that lower rate, and you'll be sitting good.
And you'll be okay. Then you'll be in your home and you didn't waste a year or two paying rent.
Right? Because rents have gone up more than interest rates have.
Whoa, have they gone up?
Big time. Thanks for listening, everyone. This has been Minnesota Home Talk. We're here every Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. answering your real estate and mortgage questions live on air. We will be back next Saturday, again from 7 to 8. Have a great weekend. Take care.
This has been a paid program. The views expressed were not necessarily those of the management or ownership of KSTP-AM 1500 ESPN. You're listening to 1500 ESPN on KSTP-AM 1500 and 94.5 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul.